Good afternoon. Today we will analyze the case rate of Acción de Inconstitucionalidad 2/2010, decided by the Mexican Supreme Court of Justice on August 16, 2010. This constitutional controversy is especially relevant because it questions the validity of Mexico City reforms that redefine marriage and extended adoption rights to the same-sex couples reforms. To understand this decision, we must begin by reviewing the procedural history of the case. So let's start.
¿Cómo está su señoría y todo el público en la sala? Alza la mano si tú eres inocente, alza la mano si tú eres culpable. Yo soy un abogado muy profesional, he dedicado mi vida entera a estudiar. Fui el primer alumno.
On January 27, 2010, the Attorney General of the Republic, Arturo Chávez Chávez, filed an action of unconstitutionality before the Supreme Court. His challenge was directed against Articles 146 and 391 of the Civil Code of this Federal District, now Mexico City, enacted in December 2009. Article 146 redefined marriage as the free union of two persons, and Article 391 permitted adoption by same-sex couples. During the proceedings, the court even requested technical options from institutions, such as UNAM, regarding the physiological, sociological, and bioethical implications of these reforms. Having established this background, let us now examine the facts that gave rise to the dispute.
Well, the reforms eliminated the traditional definition of marriage as a union exclusively between a man and a woman. As a direct consequence, adoption rights were extended to the same-sex couples. This legislative innovation triggered the Attorney General's constitutional challenge, which brought the controversy before the nation's highest court. Well, with this factual context in mind, we can now turn to the specific constitutional issue raised in the case.
The central legal issue submitted by the court was the following. Are Articles 146 and 391 unconstitutional for redefining marriage as the union of two persons and thereby allowing adoption by same-sex couples, considering principles of legality, family protection, the best interest of the child, and the federal pact? To address these questions, we must first analyze the petitioner's arguments.
The Attorney General was structured around four constitutional contours. First, a violation of Article 16, motivation and reasonableness, alleging that the reform lacks sufficient justification that marriage was inherently linked to procreation. Second, a violation of Article 4 concerning the concept to family, asserting that the Constitution recognized an ideal model composed of father, mother, and children, supposed by the international treaties. Third, a violation of Articles 1 and 4 regarding the best interest of the child, maintaining the adoption by the same-sex couples debate for the optimal heterosexual model, and the adoption is a right of the child and not of the adults. Finally, a violation of Articles 14, 16, and 121 concerning the federal pact and legal certainty, claiming that the reform created normative conflicts around the state. Having outlined the petitioner arguments, we now turn to the Supreme Court's reasoning, which directly address each of these points.
The court rejected the Attorney General's claim for four main reasons. First, regarding motivation. The court emphasized that the local legislature has constitutional authority to legislate on civil matters, and explaining rights does not require exhaustive justification when equality and non-discrimination are at stake. Second, on the concept of family, the court clarified that Article 4 of the Constitution does not prescribe a single definition of marriage, nor establish an immutable family model. Family is protected in its diverse forms, and marriage is no longer tied exclusively to procreation. Third, regarding adoption, the court ruled that excluding same-sex couple will constitute discrimination prohibited under Article 1. Expert studies demonstrated that children raised by same-sex parents develop adequately and the child's best interest is safeguarded through judicial evaluation in each case. Finally, concerning federalism and legal certainty, the court invoked Article 121, which obliges states to recognize civil acts celebrated under the laws of the states, ensuring harmonization rather than conflict. Having examined the court's reasoning, we can now state the final ruling of this landmark case.
The Supreme Court declared the action admissible but unfounded. By a majority of 9 votes, it upheld the validity of Articles 146 and 391 of the Civil Code of Mexico City. The judgment consolidated marriage equality and adoption rights for same-sex couples in the capital, setting an important precedent in favor of equality and non-discrimination.
In conclusion, this decision demonstrates how constitutional adjudication adapts legal institutions to evolving social realities. By affirming marriage and adoption rights for same-sex couples, the Supreme Court strengthened the principles of human dignity, equality, and non-discrimination. This ruling is therefore a milestone not only in the Mexican constitutional law, but also in the broader development of human rights in Latin America.
Thank you for your attention.